The Valley Green Vegan Podcast for Born Again Eaters is brought to you by Valley Green Naturals, a natural ingredient manufacturing company producing head-to-toe personal care products for clean living. Stay tuned to the end of this podcast for a special offer from Valley Green Naturals just for our listeners. Hey everyone, welcome to Valley Green Vegan, the podcast for Born Again Eaters. I am so glad you're with me today. So, as some of you may know, if you've listened to previous podcasts, this is my first year of eating a 100% plant-based diet. I started back in January, switched to a vegan diet overnight, and I have never looked back. I am off high blood pressure medicine, which, by the way, I took for many, many years. I've lost 20 pounds, and I just got my cholesterol blood work back this week, and my cholesterol is down a massive 54 points. Now, I don't know about you, but in 9 short months, I feel like those are some pretty amazing achievements. And all the more incentive to stay the course with an incredibly healthful plant-based diet. But I have recently run into a dilemma that I'm sure some of my fellow born-again eaters can relate to. How to maintain a healthful plant-based diet while traveling. I mean, it is not always easy. A company that I work for part-time requires that I travel about 8 to 10 days or so a month. I'm usually on a plane. I'm headed to a work site for a day. Then I'm headed back home again the next day. And sometimes it's a 2-leg trip where I have to visit sites in another city, so that increases the challenge of finding vegan eats in airports and at hotels. The other issue for me is that normally I'm taking Uber for ground transportation, so unfortunately, there is not really a good option to stop at a grocery store to pick up healthy foods, unless I want to pay an arm and a leg, for the extra Uber fare. The other issue that I have found is cost, in capital letters. On my last trip, I ordered Uber Eats from Noodles & Company for dinner. I was in the hotel, and I ended up spending nearly $30 for some simple noodles with veggies. I mean, it was crazy. So even though my company, they do provide meal stipends, but they're really pretty limited for someone who has special dietary needs and can't just order a pizza and cheesy bread. And as we all know, on a plant-based diet, it's always easier to prepare your own food. Even though many hotel restaurants and even, just regular restaurants have 1 or 2 vegetarian options nowadays, more often than not, they include cheese or some kind of dairy, in their toppings or in their sauces. I've tried to order risotto without Parmesan in it. It's nearly impossible. So I remember one time I ordered a house salad and specifically told them, this was through room service at the hotel restaurant, I specifically told them no cheese or eggs, I'm vegan. When it arrived, I was starving, so my starving tummy was really upset when I discovered a bowl full of iceberg lettuce, a few tomatoes, and it had a feta cheese tossed into it. So another time there were no vegetarian options on the menu, I ended up ordering 2 sides of mixed vegetables and a plate of French fries. I'm pretty sure those veggies had been cooked in butter, even though I told them I was vegan. So, not exactly a well-balanced meal. And I have really kind of resigned myself to packing my own take-along food. And this is where you have to get creative. I hate checking bags. I try to do everything with carry-on, as most people do these days. And unless you're going to pay an extra $25 to $35 and check a bag with a pantry of food inside, there is a real need to become proficient at tucking healthful meals into your carry-ons. But last week, I was out 4 days with a trip from DC to Phoenix and then up to Connecticut. I had 2 carry-on bags, very limited clothing, some work supplies, my laptop, basic toiletries. My bags were stuffed, and it was because of the food I was trying to take along. So what do you do in those situations? I've really given this a lot of thought since becoming vegan because it is essential for me to be able to maintain a healthful diet while I'm traveling. And I have decided to make it my mission to seek out every dehydrated food option that can tuck easily into my travel packing and doesn't require a cold pack for refrigeration. Now keep in mind, you can carry non-liquid refrigerated food on board a plane, but if your cold packs have begun to thaw at all, TSA will not allow them through without following their 311 rule. So to me, worrying about ice packs melting is just one more added stressor that I don't need while traveling. So I avoid packing anything that needs to stay cold. Now, I've got a few suggestions that have worked pretty well for me. It takes some shopping ahead of time to gather what you need, but really and truly, it is well worth the extra effort, and it'll definitely save you some money in the long run, too. I'm leaving today on a flight from Washington Dulles to Cleveland, Ohio. Then I have to drive with my work partner 2 more hours to get to our work site in Toledo. My flight leaves at 5:30, but it's going to be pretty late by the time I arrive at the hotel tonight. And I'm going to take a small snack on the airplane with me, but I need something healthier to eat, as a late dinner when I check in tonight, because I know I'm going to be really hungry when I get in. So for this trip, I've packed a bowl of Simply Asia sesame teriyaki noodles, pretty simple. You can find it in the ramen section in your grocery store, along with 2 packets of these really cool, ready-to-eat French green beans and cauliflower to throw on top of my noodles. Now, I took a picture of this and I'm going to post it on the food blog with the podcast highlight, so you'll be able to actually see what these little packets look like. I found them at Wegmans. If you have a Wegmans, it's a fabulous store. It's very vegan friendly. You can find all kinds of neat things there. So I also drink loose leaf hibiscus tea every morning to keep my blood pressure low. I mean, if you've listened to podcasts in the past of mine, you may have heard me talk about how I used to take high blood pressure medicine for years until turning to a plant-based diet. And as an extra measure of food being thy medicine, I drink 1 cup of hibiscus tea every morning, and my blood pressure is continuously lower now than it was when I was on my meds. So it's pretty essential to me to be drinking the tea every morning. But rather than trying to pack the tea leaves and a strainer that I use at home, into my bags, I just buy the tea bags, the simple tea bags, and I tuck a couple into my bag very easily. So in addition to the essential hibiscus tea that I drink, I always like to load up on fiber and cholesterol-lowering granola each morning. On the road, that is difficult because I like almond milk on my granola. I don't know about you, but it tastes pretty darn good. And almond milk needs refrigeration. So, as a substitute, I tuck a packet of instant Quaker oatmeal into my bag, along with a banana or a baggie of blueberries. And I've got a really great breakfast with my tea when I wake up in the morning at the hotel. Now, I'm also going to take along 2 slices of Ezekiel bread sealed tight in a baggie just to keep it really fresh, along with a tear and spread packet of Justin's creamy peanut butter. So if you haven't tried the Justin's nut butters, they're really good. And you can now find them in these little handy, like little travel packs that you just open and spread right on your bread. So I'll make a peanut butter and banana sandwich in the morning before heading to my work site. And that way I'll have a high fiber, high protein meal that's definitely healthier than any fast food that we're going to go looking for lunch tomorrow, or that my work partner probably will go looking for. And then for my flight home tomorrow evening, I've packed a baggie of dark chocolate raisins just to raise my blood sugar and satisfy any hunger pangs that, might hit before I land in Washington. Oh yeah, and I also want to mention that my husband found an amazingly cool collapsible cup/bowl for me to take on travel. It even includes a top and inserted straw for sipping, so you can sip liquids out of it, or I'm going to make my oatmeal in the morning in this. And it takes up very little room in my bag. It washes and dries really easily in the hotel room, and it's incredibly handy for, ramen, oatmeal, whatever. And then you can use it as a cup too. So if you've got you're trying to drink your tea or something, and take it along with you, it's got a little straw for sipping. So for other entrees that work well for traveling, regular dehydrated ramen noodles, without all the sodium in them, and some dehydrated veggies and mushrooms can make a good meal. I mean, they're all over Amazon. If you go on Amazon and you start searching for dehydrated vegetables, you'll find tons of them. And of course, ramen noodles are everywhere. And then just soak the veggies for about 30 minutes before adding them to your ramen. And then some of the hotels I stay in have microwaves in the room, which is really nice. Others do not, unfortunately. And you may have to go down a hallway or to a lobby, to microwave your noodle and veggie dinner. There's also another option that I prefer when I don't have a microwave and maybe I'm already cozied up in my jammies for the night. You can heat up a cup or two of plain water through the coffee maker in the room. Most rooms have those coffee makers. It's fast and it comes out boiling hot. Just pour the hot water over your noodles and veggies, add a little seasoning, like I take some seasoning along in a little baggie, and then cover it for a few minutes and you'll have a nice meal without ever having to leave your room. If you have any little tips and tricks that you want to share with me, I would love to hear them for traveling. I am now off to finish packing for today's journey. If there are any travelers out there who have run into challenges eating plant-based while on travel, I do hope that this episode has sparked some ideas for you. Please do be sure to visit our food blog at valleygreenvegan.com. And I hope you'll subscribe and check out our wonderful plant-based recipes. We now have about 40 or so posted on there with many more to come. And we've got everything from jackfruit barbecue sandwiches to pasta dishes and soups, even plant-based cake and ice cream. So we've got a wide variety of yummies to try out in your own kitchen, and I hope that you'll do that and give us some feedback on those recipes too. Thanks very, very much for listening today, guys. If you enjoyed our podcast, please give us a thumbs up and a quick review. It really helps us in reaching more folks who are seeking plant-based and vegan lifestyles. For now, stay healthy and stay safe, and happy travels. Hey guys, just a little postscript I wanted to mention. Many of us who are looking to live a clean and natural lifestyle are always on the lookout to avoid toxins in our daily lives. Even before I was diagnosed for cancer in 2017, I always tried to eat a healthy diet of organic foods and use clean ingredient products, cleaning materials, things like that. I was so into the natural and organic lifestyle that I actually started a company that produces clean ingredient body care products. That was 13 years ago, and my company, Valley Green Naturals, is still going really strong today. So what started as a soap making hobby in my farmhouse kitchen all those years ago has actually grown into a fairly good sized company, and we have over 30 products, and we make everything from soaps to facial care to deodorants. They're all natural, body lotions and bug repellents even. Everything is made with plant-derived natural ingredients. So if you're looking to reduce the toxins in your personal care products, I just thought I would mention valleygreennaturals.com. And for anyone listening to this podcast, you can use promo code HEALTHY at checkout to receive a 15% discount off your first order. So that's valleygreennaturals.com, or you can simply click the link in the episode description below.